Welcome to our Tuesday Hard CORE Glutes class. Today we're going to target the muscles in our glutes. The glutes are muscles. We're going to target our glute muscles and our core, so the whole abdominals, and we're also going to work our supporting back muscles here. So the structure of today's class is going to be 50 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest with 3 exercises in a circuit. We're going to have 3 circuits. And you'll have a nice long rest between each circuit as I demonstrate each exercise in the following circuit. By the way, I don't know if I introduced myself. My name is Elizabeth. I'm the health and fitness coordinator in Bedford. And excited to be teaching this class with you today. So we're going to start off with a warm-up, then get into those circuits, and then we'll do a quick cool down to end. So let me get my timer started here. We can get right into that warm-up. And all you'll need today is a set of dumbbells, maybe medium weight, maybe one heavier dumbbell, but all of these exercises can be done without weight as well. So make sure you have water at the very least, and if you'd like to add resistance, have some dumbbells. Okay, getting started with our warm-up, we're going to do some air squats. So you're going to have your feet about shoulder distance apart, toes pointed out slightly, and we're just going to sink our weight back into our heels, back towards the back of the room. And standing up, slightly squeezing the glutes at the top. Remembering not to be leaning forward in the squat. Keep that chest nice and proud. And sink your weight towards the back of the room as opposed to over your toes. Waking up the whole lower body here and the core. Your core is activated in a squat. All right, and rest. Now we're going to go into some knee hugs. So you can hug your left leg into your chest and switch sides. Hug your right thigh into your chest. We're just going to continue on this way a handful of times. Hope you're all having a great day so far. It's around lunchtime. Hopefully you've got something tasty to eat after this, or maybe you already ate. All right, and rest. Now we're going to do some external hip rotations. Take that right leg, bring that knee up towards the sky, and then rotate out away from your body and then back down to the ground. We'll do 5 on each side. 3, 4, 5, opening up that hip, and now switching sides, so bringing that left knee up towards the sky, and then rotating out away from your body, and then touching down to the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's do some good mornings. So it's practicing that hip hinge movement that is used in the deadlift. So extend your arms overhead. Feet are about hip distance apart, maybe a little closer. And then you're just going to keep your back nice and straight as you hinge at the hips. So just imagine that the hip points here, it's literally like a door hinge. So that's where the movement is coming from. Your knees are slightly bent. And once you get to that flat back position, you're going to stand back up, squeeze the glutes at the top, and then hinge forward again, and squeeze the glutes at the top. Let's do 5 more of these. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. Last movement of our warm-up is going to be a modified or full jumping jack. So you can either do a full jumping jack like this or modified. So stepping your right leg out and your arms overhead. I'm getting confused here. And left leg out, arms overhead. And then bringing the feet back in. So just a jumping jack without the jump. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job with that warm-up. We're going to get into our first circuit of 3 exercises. 50 seconds of work on each, 15 seconds of rest between, and we're going to cycle through the 3 sets of each. So it'll be nine exercises in total when you, 9 sets in total when you count all the sub exercises. So let me demonstrate those 3 moves so then we can go into them without having to do too much explanation. So we're going to start with a reverse lunge into a kick. So standing up nice and tall, you're going to lunge your right foot back. Okay, and just lunge down as far as comfortable for you. Keep your back nice and straight. And then you're going to stand up and kick that right leg forward, activating the lower abs. And then you're going to switch sides. Okay, so lunge that left foot back, then kick that left leg forward at the top. All right, so that's the first move. The second move is a high plank with a knee drive. So you're going to get into that plank position on your hands and your toes. Your spine is nice and straight. Your pelvis is tucked in, so your butt isn't towards the sky. It's nice and tucked in. And your neck is nice and neutral. And you're just going to walk one knee in and the other and alternate like this. Basically, it's like a slow motion mountain climber. Instead of having that ballistic movement, we're just going to step our knee in towards our chest, getting a bit of a crunch in there. And if that's a little tough, you can just hold the plank. Or you can even take one knee down to the ground into a modified plank. So that's the second movement there. Our last movement in this circuit is a goblet squat. So you're going to pick up one dumbbell. So you could go a little heavier if you'd like here, or you could even choose to use no weight. It's totally up to you. So you're going to hold that weight between your hands like so. So basically cradling the top of one of the sides of the dumbbells in between your hands, holding it out your chest. And then you're going to walk your feet out a little further than shoulder distance apart. Point those toes out. And squat your weight down and back. Just like in those air squats we were practicing before. So here's another view, keeping that chest nice and open and upright. All right, so those are those 3 moves. So I'm going to set my interval timer now. I'm going to get right into it, and I will coach you through it. And then once we're done with all 9 sets, we're going to go into the next circuit. All right. Getting started with a reverse lunge into a crunch, or into a kick, I should say. So let's stand at the top of your mat and then lunge your right foot back and then stand up and kick that right leg forward. Place that right foot back on the mat, step your left foot back into a lunge and then kick it forward. And then just repeat like this. Great work. Kicking away all your worries. Anything that maybe is irking you a little bit today, kick it out of your life. Just 10 more seconds. And then we're going to move into that high plank with a knee drive. And rest. All right. Resting for about 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to get into that high plank. So meet me down on the mat. Line those hands under your shoulder points. Step those feet out, and we're in our plank. Back is nice and straight. And I'm crunching my alternating knees in towards my chest. Taking my time here. You don't have to rush this movement. Get synced into your breath here. Help you power through this plank. 20 more seconds. You're doing great. In and out. You can always just hold this plank if stepping in is a little challenging. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Great work. We're going to go into that goblet squat next. So standing up, grabbing your dumbbell if you would like to use weight, stepping those feet a little more than shoulder distance apart, toes pointed out, and then squatting down and back. And when I say down and back, I mean squatting down towards the floor, and your weight is going towards the back of the room as opposed to forward over your toes. Just slightly squeezing those glutes at the top. Great work. 20 more seconds here. Feeling the burn. Seven more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, great work. That was our first set of each. And we're going to go back into that reverse lunge into a kick. So standing tall at the top of your mat, getting started in 3, 2, 1, stepping that right foot back into a lunge, and then stepping it up and kicking towards the front of the room, stepping that left foot back into a lunge, and then kicking it forward. And just alternating your feet like this. Might help you to kind of get your arms involved in the movement, let them swing, or you can keep them at your waist, at your hips here, whatever feels good to you. So in this movement, we're activating our glutes, our quads, and we're getting some lower ab activation here when we're in that kicking movement. All right, 2 more seconds, and rest. All right, we're going to be going back into that plank. Meeting me back down on the mat. Hands underneath your shoulder points. Walk those feet out. Nice long line with your body. Your behind is tucked in, and then you're walking, alternating knees in towards your chest. Taking your time here. Focusing on your breath. Getting into that sort of meditative flow. Doing great. Just 15 more seconds, you got this. Five, 4, 3, 2, woo. Oh yeah. Squats. So picking up your weight, your chest, walking distance apart, toes pointing outward a bit, and squatting, squeezing those glutes just a bit. Your stance of your squat a little wider, hips a little bit deep. Get a good hip opener in. Our hips can get. Just 5 more seconds here. 1, rest. Awesome work. We're going to each of those, and then you'll have a nice plane the next circuit. All right, back, standing up at the top of your mat. We're going to get lunging that right foot back, and then putting it back down, lunging the left, putting it down, and alternating. Is comfortable for you. We all are working with different ranges of motion. To listen to your body as opposed to exactly. Not that I have the best range of motion as well. 10 more seconds. 3, and rest. It's going to be a workout, which I'm kind of excited about. I don't love playing. All right, position. Your knees, alternating with the knees. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Keeping that pelvic. Just 10 more seconds. You've got 3, 2. Woo. All right. Picking up the weight, walking those feet out above, always toes pointing out, so keeping upright as you can. You find that like the deeper you squat down, the more you're leaning forward, form, and use that range of motion. So just proper form is the most. 5 and good job. Sorry, here just okay. Now we're going to go through those. So we're going to do a sitting down on your mat, placing your hands, and then crunching opposite off the mat, keeping your chin tucked into, just alternating knee to elbow here. Legs. Okay, really target to do a glute bridge. So you're gonna stick, and they're about a half a step body. Your glutes, and to make this one, keep one foot down, glute bridge up towards the sky. If that's a little too shallow, and just pulse up and down. So that's the second move. So we're also going to stay on the mat for this one. And we're going to do a reverse. You're going to arms by your side. And you're going to lift them up, hips up, pointing back towards the back of the room, and you can either lower around or you can keep them up. So we're basically in back. All right, let's get started. Little crunches. Again, and I have the time here. 3, 2, 1, rest. Great work. All right, last move in this first set is the reverse crunch. So laying back down on the mat, legs are extended out forward, your hands are down on the mat, and then you're going to lift those legs up towards the sky, and then lift your hips up and back towards the back of the room slightly. So this doesn't have to be a big movement with your hips and your abs, just kind of a small little scoot up with your hips. Just feel that in your lower abs. Doing great. 15 seconds. Exhale as you crunch in. Inhale as you extend out. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, I'm gonna have to fix my headband here. We're going back into a bicycle crunch next. So lying back down on the mat, feet on the ground, hands by the elbows, crunching opposite elbow to opposite knee, head off the mat, chin slightly tucked into the chest. Just cycling in and out. Breathing in and out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Or in through the nose, out through the nose if you prefer, whatever feels better. And if you need to take a break, that's totally fine. Just start back up when you're ready. You have 10 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Ooh, I'm feeling my abs now. I am feeling them now. All right, next up is that one leg glute bridge. So back on your back on the mat. We'll start with that right foot down, extend the left leg up, and then extend your hips up towards the sky and bring them back towards the mat. Continuing on this way. Hips up and down. Left toe pointing towards the sky. Feeling that right glute engage. Again, you can have both feet on the mat if you prefer. And switching legs here, left foot down, right foot up. And then hips going up towards the sky and back down towards the mat. Really targeting that left glute. Five more seconds. Doing great. 2, 1, rest. Back into that reverse crunch. All right, back on the mat. Legs extended out. Hands and arms by your sides. Let's lift those legs up towards the sky. Lift your hips up and back just slightly and back down the mat. Just a small movement here. Keep your chin slightly tucked down towards your chest just a little bit. You got this. Targeting that hard to reach lower ab area. Just 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1, rest. Excellent work, crew. We've got one more set of each of those workouts, and then we're down to our last circuit. All right, going back into that bicycle crunch. Let's lay down on the mat, and hands are by the ears, crunching opposite elbow to opposite knee, cycling those legs. I just know that my abs are going to be sore tomorrow. But I kind of like that feeling. Just a little bit of soreness. It's like, ooh, I did something. "15 more seconds. You got this. Keep cycling those legs. Chin tucked in towards the chest a bit. 3, 2, 1, rest. Woo. Back into that one leg glute bridge. Last time we'll do this. Laying on the back, on your back, feet on the mat, half a step forward away from your body. And then you're going to lift those hips up, extend your right leg up towards the sky. Actually, left leg, I lied. And then bring your hips down and up. Up and down. Up and down. And switch sides, left leg down, right foot up towards the sky. Hinging or lifting those hips up towards the sky and then back down to the mat. Doing great. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, we're gonna get into that reverse crunch, last one of this workout. Laying on the mat, hands by your sides, legs extended out. We're gonna lift those legs up and lift your hip up and back just slightly, and then back down, up and down. The soles of your feet are facing the ceiling as you crunch up and down. Really feeling those lower abs turn on here. You got this. Not much longer. Focusing on that breath. 3, 2, 1, rest. Awesome job. Crush that set. Crush that circuit. Off onto our last circuit now. So the last 3 exercises, 3 sets of each. So standing back up, we're first going to do a squat with 3 pulses. Okay, so you can use weights or not for this. So I'm going to pick up 1 dumbbell. I'm going to first straighten out my mat a little bit. I'm going to step my feet out about shoulder width apart. Toes pointing slightly out, holding that weight by my chest like I did in that goblet squat before. And then I'm going to squat down and back, and then pulse 1, 2, 3 at the bottom of the squat, and then stand back up. And do that again. Squat down, pulse 1, 2, 3, and stand back up. Okay, so that's the first move. Getting a little extra burn in those glutes when we do the pulses. Next, we're going to do some standing toe touches. So standing up nice and tall, roll those shoulders back and down. We're going to basically kick our left leg up and reach our right hand towards that left toe. Don't have to touch the toe, just reach towards it, and then switch sides. So right leg kick forward and then reach that left hand towards the toe. And we're going to alternate like this, basically getting a standing crunch in. Like that. All right, and the last exercise is a deadlift. So you're going to pick up your dumbbells if you're going to use weights. You're going to get into your deadlift stance, I should say, deadlift stance, by standing nice and tall, pressing those feet together, and then sort of duck walk your toes out with your heels still touching, and then bring your heels straight back behind your toes. And that's basically as wide as your feet should be apart for a deadlift. Another way to get into a proper deadlift stance is to jump, and then where your feet land, that's where you should stand. So it's like a little bit closer than hip distance apart, basically. So get into that proper stance. We're going to practice those hip hinging movements again that we did in the good mornings in the warm-up portion of this workout. So you're going to stand up nice and straight, roll those shoulders back and down. Your weights are by your thighs here. And then you're going to have a little bend in your knee as you hinge forward the hips. Once you feel your hamstrings and glutes really start to activate, probably when your back is basically flat, you're going to then stand back up, slightly squeeze the glutes at the top. Okay, just like that. We're not moving our hands or arms at all, so we're not trying to like move our hands towards the ground, rounding our back like that. We want to keep our back nice and straight, just have the movement coming from that hip point. All right, so that's how it should look. Let's get into the actual workout now, shall we? Set my timer, starting with the squat pulses. So picking up that weight if you'd like, feet are about shoulder width apart, toes pointing slightly out, squatting, down and back, pulsing at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, then standing back up, continuing this way. Down and back, 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, and then standing back up. 1, 2, 3, standing back up. Great work. 1, 2, 3, standing back up. Keeping that chest upright as much as possible in that squat. Just 5 more seconds here. See if you can get one more rep in. And standing up, bring it down. I'm going to get into those standing toe touches. Standing up nice and tall, roll those shoulders back and down. Rest for a few more seconds. And then kick that left leg up and reach your hand towards your toes as you kick up. And alternate sides. Working your abdominals, a little bit of the obliques here as you rotate to meet that toe. Working your balance, as you can see, as I almost just lost my balance there. And this is a nice active rest. I mean, we're not resting, we're still working out, but it's a rest compared to the squat and the deadlift. Oops, knocked my way over, which both have weights. You can get a little bit of a breather in here, maybe. And rest. And we're going into those deadlifts, picking up your dumbbells if you're using them, getting into that squat stance. So your feet are basically a little bit closer than hip distance apart. Toes pointing forward, roll those shoulders back and down. Keep that back nice and straight as your knees have a slight bend in them, and you're hinging the hips forward until you feel your hamstrings and glutes engage, and then you're standing back up. Squeezing at the top a little bit. Just continuing on this way. Really listen to your body in this movement. I'm not able to see you guys, so I can't correct your form. This is an exercise where the form can be a little bit tricky to master. So if things feel a little weird, you can either drop the weights or just like play around with your form, like keeping that back nice and straight. Maybe have more of a bend in your knees. All right, and rest. First set of all those done. Now we just have 2 more sets of each. Getting back into the squats with 3 pulses. I'm going to go no weight this time. You can do you. Your feet are about shoulder distance apart, toes pointing slightly out, squatting down and back and pulsing at the bottom 3 times. And then standing back up, very slight squeeze in the glutes at the top. And just continuing this way. Doing great. Remember to breathe. No holding breath here. Less than 10 seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Great job. Back into the standing toe touches. Nice. Sigh, let it all go. Okay, standing nice and tall. Roll the shoulders down and back, back and down. And then you're gonna kick your left foot forward. Try to reach that right hand towards that toe and then switch sides. Kicking and reaching. Feeling that crunch in the abs. So you stand up nice and tall. Looking good, crew. Fifteen more seconds before we're back into those deadlifts. 3, 2, 1, rest. Back into those deadlifts. So you're gonna pick up your weights if you'd like. Stand a little closer than hip distance apart. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. Stand up nice and tall, slight bend in the knee. Back nice and straight as you hinged forward and down at the hips. Feel the hamstring and the glutes engage, and then stand back up. Squeeze the glutes a little bit at the top. Looking good. Take this movement nice and slow. Definitely not one to rush through. Thirteen more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. One more set of each of these, and then we're just going to do a quick cool down, and you're free. You will have checked off your workout for the day. All right, standing up, we're going to get back into the squats, so feet about shoulder distance apart, toes pointing slightly out, squatting down and back, and pulsing 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, and then standing back up. So you can hold a weight or go no weight in this move. Totally up to you. Looking good. $15 more seconds. Keep that chest nice and proud. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Great work. Down with the squats. On to the standing toe touches. Standing up nice and tall. Roll those shoulders back and down away from your ears. Let's touch or try to meet your fingers to your opposite toe. $30 more seconds here. $15 seconds left. Three, 2, 1. Rest. Back into our last exercise of the workout. And do some deadlifts. So we're going to pick up those weights if you'd like. Feet about a little closer than hip distance apart. Standing up nice and tall, good posture. Slight bend in the knee. And then hinging at the hips, down and up. Squeezing the top. Keeping that chin tucked just a little bit in towards the chest. Sliding those weights down toward the ground. Holding the hands and arms steady so they shouldn't be moving at the joints. Just your hip joints should really be doing the movement here. Just 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Excellent work, guys. Really targeted those glutes and abs today. Hope you felt like you get a good workout in. We're going to do a little bit of a cool down now. So you can sit down on your mat, sitting up tall. We're just going to fold forward over our thighs and shins. reaching your hands forward. I'm just going to hold here for a couple of breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do one more of those. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Rolling back up. We're going to now lay on our backs, and you're going to place your left foot on the mat, cross your right shin, calf, foot over top of your left thigh underneath your knee, and then lift that left thigh towards you and grab hold of the back of your left thigh. And just hold on here. Feel that nice stretch through your right glute. If you can, if it feels good, you can maybe pull that thigh a little bit closer towards your chest. And we'll just hold here. Let's take one deep breath in and let it all go through mouth. All right, switch legs. Right foot down on the mat, left leg rests on top of your right thigh under your knee. Grab hold of that right thigh. Just hold on there, or if it feels good, you can gently pull that right thigh towards your chest. Just a little bit, feeling that deep stretch through your left glute. Let's take one big deep breath in and out here. So in through the nose. And let it all go through the mouth. Great job. All right. Sitting up, let's just do a little bit of a cat-cow here. So in tabletop, hands underneath your shoulder points, knees under your hip points. Let's dip the belly towards the ground as we lift our chin up and look up towards the sky. And then let's reverse that movement. So reach your back up towards the sky, pulling that belly up, holding here, and then reverse the movement one more time each way. So dip the belly down towards the ground, up, looking up towards the sky. Nice stretch through the front body. And then reverse the movement. So spine towards the sky, belly tucking in, chin tucking in towards the chest. And then back to neutral spine. All right, that's that. Really great job on the workout today, guys. I will see you again tomorrow with another virtual workout class. Have a good one. Bye.